All right, we got a fall preview issue of TV Guide from 2005. So I had a viewer ask for me to do one from mid-2000s, and this is about as close as I could get. Fall preview 2005. Man, I thought The Ghost Whisperer came on before 2005, but what do I know? But there's our girl Jennifer Love. Let's get right into this and see what's inside. I think in this format, if you've seen my other videos, they used to do some of the new shows at the beginning of the TV Guide and some later, but I think in this format they put all these new shows right up front. So let's get right into it and see what was premiering in 2005. My name is Earl. I wonder if this is new. We'll find out. Looks like it might be. Did you guys like that show? I liked him in, was it Mallrats? One of those movies. It's the only time I liked him. Oh, check this out. This might have been when they went away from this. It's probably can't tell on camera, but this, you know, the TV guys were a little small, kind of Reader's Digest size. Looks like maybe this is when they went to like magazine size, which was probably a mistake, but I don't know. I don't think many people were reading it at this point because you had your TV guide on the TV. Everybody Hates Chris. Yeah, I think we'll see these, so we don't have to linger on this table of contents. Jennifer Love. What do you get? A signed dress? I guess Benjamin Bratt fans can try to win a signed pair of pants. I don't want to read all this, but it looks like they're doing some giveaway. Special Fall Edition preview. I think they'll highlight, yeah, I think they'll highlight individual shows. But we'll take a quick look at what they're talking about here. Okay, best of the best picks. So it looks like the critics are saying, here's what you should watch, which they used to do that back in the 70s and 80s, and it was kind of fun because you could see them picking some shows that caught on. You might remember this Invasion show? I kind of remember that. We definitely remember Everybody Hates Chris, although, I don't know. Book of Daniel. Yeah, we definitely remember Ed. That just got a huge push. I think that's what it was called. We'll see. We'll see all the new shows. Alright, this was the DVD era. The new Lost Generation. Maybe this is the second season for Lost. Boondocks. I think we'll see those. If not, yeah, this is a well-respected show, the Boondocks. Brunette Invasion. We got Jennifer Love. We got Carla Gugino. Robin Tooney. I've definitely seen her in other stuff. And we know these other people. Bones caught on. It's lasted for a few years. There's that lady. Lady likes to drink blood and stuff or something. Cheers to Gilmore Girls. Just checking the jeers. Yeah, there's a Crash movie. I talked about that in another one. Looks like it wasn't even out yet. When I talked about it in like 2002. I guess it wasn't even out yet. All right. All right, here we go. Fall 2005. Do you remember what premiered? We'll find out here. The only thing, I'm not sure about this, but the only thing I think I'm not sure about with these fall previews when we get into like the 90s and 2000s, I think channels like FX and TNT would premiere some of their shows in like November. And it seems like they don't cover those in these. They just cover like the September premieres. But that's kind of my guess. I'm not certain about that. There's that guy. Guy's a complete loon now. I recognize her. And yeah, this Ward Home definitely didn't catch on. But this is kind of fun with this grid over here showing us, looks like Sunday night. Yeah, and what's coming on and what's new. So that's a pretty nice snapshot. Although we should see those grids in here. Just trying to see. Yeah, I don't know her name well enough to spot which one of those names she is. What? This dude had a show? Because he became a movie star or whatever. And is that Jaime King? It is Jaime King. You guys remember her from Sin City? Goldie. She said her name is Goldie. Jaime King. We love Jaime King. This dude, he became a star, whether we wanted him to or not. Guess they were on some show called Kitchen Confidential. And it probably looks too much like a reality show. But, dang, I didn't know Jaime King was on regular TV, man. I guess it was coming on Monday night. Bunch of new shows on Monday night, including a total classic, which we'll talk about. Yeah, I was just seeing what else was on Monday night that I might have been watching, but I don't know. Surface. Let's read what the Surface is, because it looks like it's one that doesn't ring a bell. She kind of looks like Natalie, shoot, what's her name? The singer. Furtado, but that's obviously not some actress. Any Natalie Furtado fans in the building? It's Close Encounters as a discovery of mysterious new underwater species entangles four disparate characters. Interesting. Sounds like The Abyss or something. I mean, it's got a sci-fi angle to it. It sounds kind of cool. Yeah, here we go, folks. Everybody knows this show. So I guess it premiered in 2005 on CBS on Monday night. We got Doogie Howser. We got our girl from Band Camp. And we got some other dudes. I never watched this show, but I know everybody loved it. And I like Allison Hannigan. Who doesn't? Oh, man. So this is our guy, John Doe. I talked about it in another video I did. And I guess he went on to do this Prison Break show, which I think some people liked this show for a season or two. I'm not big into prison stuff. At the same time, or around this time, there was that HBO prison show. It's like a bunch of dudes brutalizing each other in prison, so I wasn't really up for that. But this show was, it did catch on. And then Don Johnson, Just Legal. So we all remember Nash Bridges, but I don't remember Just Legal. At 19, a whiz kid, law grad, passes the bar. No firm will hire him, so he goes to work for his booze hound Burnout. So Don Johnson's a booze hound Burnout. Those two kind of go together, don't they? Burnouts and booze hounds. Out of Practice. This rings a bell. We got the Fonz, Henry Winkler. We got, looks like, what's her name from Grease. Man, they got a decent cast here. They got Henry Winkler, they got Stockard Channing, and they got Jennifer Tilly. Is that Jennifer Tilly? I'm confused. And then we got some guys. So this is like another law show that didn't catch on. Looks like it came on CBS, but they put a good cast in there. And often I complain about them not putting a cast in there, so at least they gave it a shot. What are these gals doing? They look quite serious. She was in a movie when she was younger. She looks pretty serious with her hand on her hip. Close to home. Indianapolis prosecutor has a perfect conviction record against suburban bad guys. She also has a brand new baby and a tough new boss. And I don't know why they've got a mailbox that's been destroyed down there, but that's kind of funny. Yeah, this one didn't catch on. Man, what was she in? Bones obviously caught on. Like a forensic show. David Boreanaz, who a lot of people like. And she was good also. Emily Deschanel. I wonder if that's Rachel Deschanel. I don't know. Yeah, here's that show. People like this show for some reason. Like Slob Guy. Jamie Priestley was in it. I mean, that's a good reason to watch, but otherwise I'm taking a hard pass. But if you guys liked it, it's all good. We're just having fun here. We all got our tastes. Here's Geena Davis. I vaguely remember this. Again, a pretty good cast. They got Peter Coyote. They got Donald Sutherland. And I think it lasted a year or two. I don't think it was like a big hit, but I think it did last a little bit. That dude. Why was that guy? I could say that about a lot of 2000s people. But him in particular, why was that guy? I don't even know his name, and I don't care to. There's our girl, though, Denise Richards. Sex, Love, and Secrets. Was that really the name of the show? Yeah. And it was too bad Denise Richards got saddled with that long-faced guy. This show caught on a little bit. Supernatural. Two Haunted Brothers. Travel America's Back Roads. Seeking out and vanquishing the most malevolent spooks from the urban legend. So I didn't realize that was the plot. I mean, obviously I knew it had supernatural elements, but and this was on, I think it was on the WB. WB had some hits. I think they had Smallville was on WB, I think. Check these people out. They look super serious. There's lots of serious looking people in the 2000s, in the 70s, in the 80s. We had fun. We kept it lighthearted. Then everybody got serious and dressed in black. I'm halfway joking. I think I saw this dude in real life one time because he was dating, what's her name? The country singer girl. And I saw him at a concert in LA. Tall dude, man. He's like 6'2" or so. And he was on Third Watch, I think, before this Invasion show. And we've seen this guy in some movies. Let's see who else, if we recognize any names. I mean, I recognize that dude, too. Carrie Machette, Lisa Sheridan. Yeah, Eddie Cibrian's the guy's name. He was dating, what's her name? She's got like 3 names, little country music girl. She was like, had her first date when she was like 15 or something. Yeah, Apprentice with Martha Stewart. Jeez. I don't know about Martha Stewart. Check this gal out. She's having fun, man. Guess if you use this Zest body wash, you can be having that much fun in the shower. So, you heard it here. Go get some Zest. Freddie, I remember this. This guy had a little bit of charisma. I'll give it to him. Freddie Prinze Jr. I don't know if this show caught on though. Criminal Minds definitely caught on. Shamar Moore. Shamar Moore's always, he must have a good agent because he's always popping up on stuff. Mandy Patinkin. They don't even have her pictured here. They just want to look at these dudes. But yeah, Criminal Minds caught on. There were so many of those forensic shows on in the 2000s, and this was one of them. Campbell Casino. PleasureOrBust.com. Jeez. Just give us all the vices at once, I guess. E-Ring. Okay, this definitely, I don't even remember this. Benjamin Bratt and Dennis Hopper. Was Dennis Hopper CIA? You guys tell me. And I'm being serious. Otherwise, why was Dennis Hopper? Answer me one of those others. Was he CIA? If he wasn't, why was Dennis Hopper? Yeah, so both of these didn't catch on because this head case is with Chris O'Donnell. And I'm not saying they were bad shows. They were, as you can see, they were just so, it was such saturated market. I guess Chris O'Donnell went to TV and made this head cases. But it is good. I will say that there's all these fun new shows to look at. So at least we're seeing a good variety here. We're seeing things that they were trying in the mid-2000s. They were trying to put a CIA asset in our living room, and we said, nah, we're good. And this dude has been in some stuff too. Adam Goldberg. I think he was in Saving Private Ryan. And we know Benjamin Bratt. All the ladies love him. Jennifer Esposito in some show called Related. She had charisma, man. They gave her her own show. Yeah, I got to see some other names here. A bunch of girls, that's good. But unfortunately, they don't have them pictured, so you couldn't really tell you. Let's see what this Related was. What's the deal with this? Meet the four Sorelli sisters. All right, we got some Italian girls. Jeannie is a workaholic lawyer. Anna is a therapist. The other one's a party planner who's been evicted. And Rose is the youngest. Has swapped pre-med for experimental theater. Sounds fun. Probably didn't catch on. This was like the Desperate Housewives era. This was the Sex and the City era. Yeah, this Everybody Hates Chris. I guess a lot of people like this show. I've just never been a fan of those two. The kids are fine, in my opinion. And obviously, you guys don't know, Chris Rock was doing wordplay on that Everybody Loves Raymond show that was so popular. So we're already into Thursday. So we're blazing through these new shows pretty quickly. We got some show called Nice Dog. Look how serious all these people were in the 2000s, man. You couldn't smile in the 2000s. It wasn't allowed. We're just having fun, folks. Night Stalker, starring some guy you never heard of, and you wonder why it didn't catch on. And Reunion, I kind of remember this. There's another somber face there. We can't really see her. Dave, Cheryl Lee, Alexa Davalos, Amanda Righetti. I like that name, Righetti. Oh, let's see what this is about. I mean, it's probably about a reunion, right? One of 6 childhood friends has been murdered. And some guy investigates. Trail takes him back 20 years to the friend's 1986 high school graduation. Huh. I don't know if they look old enough to be 20 years past graduating, but maybe they do. I don't know. Or maybe they're playing how they looked in 86. I'm not sure. Have to, right? Because they don't look like they're 40. So maybe this is how they're supposed to look when they're in high school. Premiered on Fox back in 2005. There's Holly Robinson. Love, Inc. Barely remember this one. Oh, you guys remember these These 2000, the year 2000, they came out with these. And I think that the coating on them would like come off real easy, so they were like cheaply made, much like everything is now. Let's see what Love Inc. is all about over here. I think she's been on other stuff. I don't know her name. Maybe her name's Busy Phillips. Romance is a business, dating service. Sends wingmen and wingwomen in the field with their clients. So like kind of a fun premise. I don't know. There we go. They knew they had a hit on their hands. They gave it 2 full pages because we got J-Love. We all love J-Love. So you guys know this show. This stayed on for at least 5 years or so. She would like talk to ghosts. Not sure what else she would do. Help people out, I guess. Spread the love around. She was spreading the love with the ghosts. Oh, I kind of remember this show. And again, we've already seen some gems, right? We saw Jaime King on some random show. We saw, what's her name, having to tolerate that long-faced guy. So we've discovered some things. Twins. Yeah, I remember this. They were twins, but obviously not identical. It was a decent show. Because Sarah Gilbert has always had charm. You guys remember that show that came on a few years before this where he was like the principal of a high school? It was a good show. But I guess by now it was off, and now he's in some Killer Instinct show. Just we need another like forensic detective show. So we don't have enough of those. So yeah, this one didn't catch on. I don't even think we need to read the plot because it's, you know, it's another crime-solving show. One of 6,000 that were on that year. 3 Wishes. Amy Grant. Come on now. I didn't know Amy Grant was on TV. So this is on NBC, some show called 3 Wishes with Amy Grant and some other people. Knows someone who needs an impossible dream realized. Call on this team of genies. Wish fulfillers. Life-changing challenges. Sounds kind of like a wild concept, so maybe it didn't catch on because it was a little too far out there. But we got Amy Grant. There's that dude before Game of Thrones. He's looking so serious, man. So is Data. Commander Data has been programmed to look serious. I'm joking as usual, folks. Hopefully you don't mind the wise cracks. We removed his humor chip, everybody. There's Rock. There's Carla's Gugino. So unfortunately this didn't catch on because, I mean, she's a star among stars, man. She's brighter than the brightest. And we got a pretty decent other, you know, we got Rock, we got Brent Spiner, we got that guy. Threshold. So you can see they got a good cast. When a freaky alien object wreaks havoc in a Navy ship, the world's sexiest risk and analyst, Carla Gugino, I would say so. No doubt about it. Puts into action her threshold contingency plan. Team of eccentric geniuses investigate. It sounds like a fun premise. Especially, I bet with this cast, you probably have some good dynamics. Because, you know, Rock can bring some personality. Data can. This dude probably can. This generic haircut guy probably can't. But we got Carla holding it down over here. So, yeah, I've never heard of Threshold. Wonder how long it lasted. And we got Hot Properties. Oh, jeez. Oh, Sofia Vergara. So that was probably before whatever that show was so popular, the family show. Sofia Vergara on some show called Hot Properties. Are you there, dudes? I'm watching Carla, but hey, to each its own. And what we got going over here? Inconceivable. I think it was inconceivable that this would get any ratings. I'm kind of joking because we got our girl Angie Harmon, but yeah, this one didn't catch on. Yeah, she was great on Law and Order and other things. Look at this. Oh, this is HBO. All right, cool. That looks like Kate Winslet. Probably is. Extra, Kate Winslet, Gervais. Yeah, unfortunately, we got to read all the fine print here, but it looks like maybe some movies or something coming on HBO. Oh, Britcom Extras. Ricky Gervais. Guest stars include Kate Winslet. Okay, so it looks like they're bringing on some different guest stars. That might have been decent. I've never been a huge Gervais fan, but this sounds okay. Dear Woman. Were you guys watching Dear Woman in 2005? Maybe she could transform into a deer. See, if this was the 80s, she would transform into a deer. That's how we rocked it in the 80s. And then this guy, unfortunately, I watched a few of those episodes. Run's House. I'll leave it at that. Yeah, a bunch of small, quick blurbs here. Run's House, My Fair Brady. Oh, I watched that My Fair Brady. It had Christopher Knight on there. I'm guilty of watching some reality shows. There's that guy. They loosed him upon society around this time. And he's still here. It's like a bad penny that keeps turning up. Isn't that how the phrase goes? Any bad penny fans out there? Leave a like. Yeah, movies and minis. So these are like mini-series and stuff. Unfortunately, they don't have them organized in a way that's like you can quickly read what they are. She played Martha Stewart. I remember that. What's her name from Moonlighting? Human Truth, Poseidon Adventure. This looks interesting. I wonder which one of these it is. Yeah, they don't have this organized in a way that I can quickly tell what that is. And I don't want to read the wrong thing. Oh, maybe it's this Yesterday, set in South Africa. All right, this is a snapshot into the early 2000s. And again, we'll see probably see some cool ads, and we'll see some more as we go through this. So we're not just, the exciting stuff is up front, but we'll see some more cool stuff to bring us back to that era and remind us maybe of some other stuff. I can make some mean comments about this group of fellas, but maybe I won't. I will recall again, in case you didn't see me in one of my other episodes, I talked about George Carlin's autobiography, which wasn't that great. I mean, George Carlin's great, but his autobiography was just okay. But one thing I distinctly remember from it, because George Carlin's like such a truth teller, he talked about Lorne Michaels. He specifically called these three names out: Lorne Michaels, Steve Martin, and Martin Short. He said those guys are complete phonies, just total biggest phonies you'll ever meet. And I take George's word for it, because he was always telling the truth. All right, what else we got? We got some country music over here. Kenny Chesney, he always had his short sleeves cut off. He must have went through a lot of scissors cutting off those short shirt sleeves. Or he probably had some peon do it for him. So I got some MLK special. Yeah, here's some specials coming on. George Lopez on DVD. He's a pretty funny dude, in my opinion. Both like as a guy, but also as stand-up comedy. They're pushing Martha on us for some reason. Not sure why. We got Tyra, one of the supermodels. For some reason, only the 90s had supermodels. They weren't allowed to exist in the 80s nor in the 2000s. But Tyra was a supermodel, y'all. Moesha, if you like that show, that's fine. Yeah, and here's a snapshot of the week, which is really cool and useful page to have in a TV guide, but we'll be going through each night. Here's your horoscope from the late part of 2005. Kathy Bates in Ambulance Girl. Did you guys watch that show? Susan Lucci. Yeah, she's pretty short, I think. All right, we're into Sunday. That's interesting. These used to always start on Saturday morning. So this is the first one I've ever gone through that started on Sunday. I'm thrown by that, I'll have to admit. I am now like discombobulated. But we'll press on. Sunday night. Let's see how big this grid is. Yeah, look at this weird grid they got. But I'll try to translate for you guys. Bunch of trash on at 7 o'clock, like 60 Minutes in Daylight NBC. Crossing Jordan, that's in syndication though. Just checking some of the cable shows because we had a bunch of classics on cable around this time. Poker Stars. Yeah, around 2005 is when the televised poker really came big. Simpsons is still on. They're still money laundering, all the producers. And then this guy, we're not tuning in for him. Let's see what else we got, though. We got Extreme Makeover, Desperate Housewives. There you go. That show was huge if you guys weren't around. It really caught fire. People loved it. It kind of picked up right after or around the time that Sex and the City went away, so it kind of filled a void. Cold Case. I think we talked about that in another one. Simpsons, Family Guy, American Dad. West Wing is still on. Then we got Law and Order, Criminal Intent, and Crossing Jordan. So Sunday night's a pretty good night. Just checking some of these other channels. Got some channel called Alt showing a bunch of old shows, which sounds fun. Inside the Actors Studio, Footballers' Wives. Oh dear. Oh bother. Just kidding. Let's see what else we got. Okay, we got tons of channels now, man. This is a trip. Although that's why you get saturation of the market, unfortunately. The Amazing Race. That's like a rerun, though. HBO is showing Rome. You guys remember that show? Rome? Let's be honest. People only watch that and like Game of Thrones for the nudity. You guys got to be honest. Nobody's watching Rome because it's good. They're watching it for the nudity. MTV's got Pimp My Ride and Punk'd. Punk'd was kind of fun, in my opinion. Hopefully you guys won't lose respect for me for saying that. This is fun here. It looks like CBS has got their own little thing. So we got a bunch of shows that we know. 2.5 Men. Unwatchable, Unfunny Show. Criminal Minds was popular. King of Queens. One of the best sitcoms ever. Just so well written. And we love Leah Remini. We love our, what was that show she was on? Living Doll. We love our Living Doll, Leah Remini. Let's see what else, because this is a fun little fold out here. And bear with me, I didn't prepare for this. This fold out's kind of funky. Out of Practice, that's that show we saw with Winkler and our girl from Greece. Sorry, I can't remember her name. Stockard Channing. There we go, instant classic. Got some more in here, but I can't fold all these out. Ghost Whisperer. All right, let's keep going. All right, so that was Sunday night, and now we're in like middle of the day Sunday, so they kind of got this arranged in a strange way, but it is what it is. Shaolin Showdown cartoon. Oh, look at this. This is kind of cool. These little call-out things. Whether you're a Joan Rivers fan or not, I kind of am. But, you know, she was notorious for doing these red carpet things and interviewing the celebrities, and then she would, like, trash them. And one time on the red carpet, you guys can probably find this out on the internet. She said something to Busta Rhymes about his fashion or something, and he came right back with a vicious joke. And I can't remember what he said, but, you know, usually the stars would laugh and just, you know, but he came right back, and it's probably on the internet somewhere. Busta Rhymes and Joan Rivers. He zinged her. She probably liked it. She's a great comic, so she probably appreciates the humor. At least I hope she did. I'm not going to linger too much on this because we'll look for like the little ads and stuff here. Yeah, these callouts are kind of weird but kind of fun. There's that Rome show. People watching that for the nudity, man. Nobody cares about Rome or whatever they're doing. Rosa Blasi Strong Medicine. It's got a little write-up too. Late Sunday, that's interesting. It's all new to me, folks. It's like late night. I don't know if you staying up at 1 a.m., but hey, it is what it is. Just Shoot Me. Those are probably just all reruns and stuff. Veronica Mars. Come on, folks. She was so charming, you know, at the time. People change, you know, people evolve, but Veronica Mars was the gal back then. She was solving the crimes. I think she was like in high school and like kind of like a Nancy Drew type deal. And she was also in Deadwood. You guys remember her in Deadwood? Oh, this is super weird. What is this? Oh, they're just doing one grid for all weekdays? That's kind of weird. Oh, weekdays. Okay, see, I'm throwing, folks. Sorry about that. So this is like the daytime lineup for the week, which is kind of a good way to do it. And it's mostly trash you don't want to watch anyway. You know, infomercials, game shows, Today Show. But that's interesting. They did a grid for the weekdays, not the weeknights. Yeah, Tony Danza, I think he had his own talk show at this time. It was a sad time, folks. No, I'm kidding. There's some good shows on back then. Wow, look at this. All My Children. Mad TV. People say Mad TV was actually funnier than Saturday Night Live. I think they're probably right. All right, yeah, I'm not sure what to make of all this. Because, you know, it's just the daytime stuff. It's not really much to linger on. Any of the shows we recognize, like King of Queens, those are just in syndication. So we should see those in the evening if they're still on. Here's that show. It's on Lifetime. Emergency Wake-Up Call. Sounds like a strange concept. All right, here's Monday primetime. They just try to sneak that in there. So let's take a look at what's coming on Monday night. Wife Swap. King of Queens. I guess it was a Monday night show. Everybody Loves Raymond, 2.5 Men, CSI Miami, Fear Factor Las Vegas. You guys remember that Las Vegas show with Vanessa Marcel and that other gal? I mean, Vanessa Marcel is why I watched it. Let's be real. Medium. Flying Dutchman. One-on-One. Girlfriends. Seventh Heaven. I think these are on reruns. Just checking the cable stuff. The Apprentice. Alright, and this 9 o'clock. Kind of wonder what the premise of this ambulance girl thing is. There's Mariska looking fabulous. We know Mariska by her first name. And she was fabulous. She's like this daughter of like Joan Crawford or some famous actress. You guys know your Mariska lore? Your genealogy? Yeah, these little call-outs are okay, but then I'd rather have like some bigger ads, right, like this. Wildfire, that kind of rings a bell. Genevieve Cortez. Alright, let's see if we can see the plot for, yeah, I don't even see it now. It's on Lifetime, right? Kathy Bates directs herself in a quirky drama about a woman who rescues herself by becoming an EMT. Yeah, I still don't understand what the rescue herself thing is. Alright, yeah, and this is odd, this late night stuff. Weeds, you guys remember that show Weeds? On Showtime, I guess. I can make comments about that. Not necessarily about the weed stuff, but about Mary Louise Parker, but I'll keep it to myself. She was kind of charming, though. Late night, I don't know what we're supposed to be looking for here, because it's going to be like reruns. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there's some recognizable stuff here, but it's just reruns of stuff that we would have seen earlier in the day. Or like old stuff. Looks like Battlestar Galactica's on Sci-Fi. That was probably that new one they made in like the mid-2000s. Did you guys like that? I never watched it. I mean, you can't redesign the Cylons. Cylons are probably the coolest sci-fi design ever. Even better than like snowtroopers and stormtroopers. And what, you're going to redesign those? I'll take a hard pass on the when you redesign the Cylons, man. Just put the chrome and the gold one up there, and you got a hit show on your hands. Yeah, I don't know what the hook with Bones was, but it was a little bit different. I guess it was like old. You know, they'd find some bones, and they'd have to like go back years to try to solve a murder, which, you know, that only happens on TV, but it was a fun show. Perhaps based on that Angelina Jolie movie, I'm not sure. Yeah, this is confusing. They go from late Monday straight into Tuesday prime time. So let's see what we got. According to Jim, World Music Awards, Big Brother 6, Bones, House. So we haven't seen any House ads, but you guys remember House. That was a big, pretty popular show. Mainly because he would just talk bluntly to people, which is kind of fun. Biggest Loser, Law and Order Special Victims Unit. Some Bruce Springsteen thing coming on. Kind of curious what that is. Gilmore Girls, Supernatural. Any Gilmore Girls fans out there? I know there's some because that was a popular show. China Beach, how about it? Yeah, this alt channel got some cool stuff on there, man. I didn't have the alt channel where I was. World Series of Poker coming on in September. Yeah, that sounds about right. Yeah, there's House. All right, we got us an ad here. Yeah, this was the guy. I didn't know he was British. I think a lot of people didn't know that. Fun show. The cast was good too. I don't remember who was on it, but his supporting cast was good. I think the dude from Juice was in it. Just checking what else is over here. The Sopranos, we talked about that. Rome again. Real Lies with Bill Maher. Oh, I mean Real Time. Did I make a Freudian slip there? Gilmore Girls, Laura Graham. Yeah, I remember this Da Vinci's Inquest. It was decent. I'm telling you, there were so many of those forensic shows on. So the 2000s, you got People Who Are Not Allowed to Smile, and you got a million forensic shows, and then, you know, obviously the reality shows. LL's in House. You know, he wasn't a regular though. There's our girl, Mariah. I've said this in other videos. In case you all haven't seen those other videos, Google Mariah Carey electricity. There's a clip of her where she thinks electricity is free. You guys got to look for that. It's funny. It's like 15 seconds. It's good for a laugh. We love Mariah. She's like, man, you don't have to pay for electricity. Sailor War. Just trying to see who else was on House. When you got as much money as Mariah, you think electricity's free, man. Remember Rescue Me? All right, I'm gonna do a hot take. You guys, hopefully you're here for the hot takes, and if you're not, we're just having fun. It's no big deal. This show was trash. This guy's trash, but this show was pure trash, and here's why. So he was a firefighter. His whole thing for season after season, he pretty much went through life acting like a 12-year-old or something. Like, I guess he thought, yeah, this is how guys act. You know, they got short tempers and whatever. Nah, bro, you act like you're 14, like you never had to grow up. But the other problem I have with the show, and it's all good, folks, hear me out with these rants. The other problem I had, every single episode, they're pulling babies from burning buildings. They're rescuing children. Man, sometimes you got to have some just boring rescues. You can't be like saving babies every single episode. So not only was it propaganda, but then you got Dennis Leary acting like a 14-year-old grown man. And I guess that's just how Irish guys act, or whatever his shtick was with that show. So I wanted to like it, but I couldn't enjoy it for those reasons. So there's a hot take for you. It's all good. Wednesday prime time, George Lopez, Lost. I've ranted on Lost before, so I just did a rant, so I won't do another one. CBS sneak peek. Those are always fun. You could probably find some of those on YouTube, especially the ones from like the 80s or 90s or whenever. Those like sneak peek shows, they'll sit there and tell you like what's coming on that season, and it's kind of fun. The Saturday morning ones, the cartoon ones, are really fun. Yes, Dear, King of Queens, CSI New York. So they got all these CSIs now. So You Think You Can Dance. Head Cases. I think we saw that and I already forgot what it was. Plain Old Law and Order. Law and Order Classic. Connie Mack. Yeah, CBS sneak peek would be fun. Are You the Girl with T-Boz and Chili? Chili just got into some hot water recently, but we'll leave it at that. And it's just internet drama. It's nothing serious. Veronica Mars, we talked about old Nancy Drew 2.0 there. One Tree Hill, Smallville. So there's your nighttime soaps. And I watched Smallville, but yeah, 2 or 3 seasons in, I realized, wait, I'm just watching a soap opera right now. I thought I was watching a superhero show. Dog the Bounty Hunter. I'm giving you guys some snapshots into the past here. Yeah, you guys got to Google that Mariah electricity. Don't click off my video, though. Do it afterwards. Or pause, open another tab, or whatever. I guess if you're on your phone, you can't do that. Yeah, here's the head cases. Check out the head on that guy, though. I mean, that's why I guess you cut his hair down. It looks halfway normal, but he grows it out, and it looks like Frankenstein, man. Guy's got a head on him. So these are the cable stuff. Walker, Texas Ranger, probably in syndication at this point. Entourage. Did you guys like the Entourage show? I don't want you guys to get mad at me, so I'll do it. I won't rant on Entourage, but yeah, it wasn't my cup of tea. My Life as a Teenage Robot on Nickelodeon. It's a funny title. Soap opera channel. All right. Documentary. Jeez. All right. Rockstar in Excess. There's that guy we just talked about. All right, Late Night Wednesday. Yeah, it's shows we recognize, but they just, they're in syndication. So like The Nanny, Spin City, etc. Here's that reunion show. Yeah, I'm confused. Like 20 years later, that would mean they were like nearly 40. Do these people look 40 to you? Because I guess these are supposed to be the teenage versions. I don't know. I guess when you come with a concept like that, you got to cast some people that look, I don't know. It is what it is. All right, we're in a Thursday prime time here. We got Survivor Guatemala. We got a 2-hour CSI. The OC, you remember the OC? What was the girl's name on that? The dark-haired girl. But yeah, we remember the OC. With the annoying kid and the cool kid who was like the rebel. And then the rich girl and then the other girl. My description is pretty bad. So reunion show, that's this thing. Scrubs, ER, some called Joey, and then of course Will and Grace. And Smallville, we talked about that. The OC, I wish they had some ads. I guess it was probably in its second season, maybe. I watched some OC. I was an OG with there when the OC came out. Yeah, I think I was opted out of Survivor and a lot of these reality shows at this point. But I definitely watched the first 2 or 3 seasons. Just checking the other cable stuff. They're really pushing that Rome show. Worst drivers. Yeah, no OC ads. I mean, you said this tiny thing. So Misha was kind of the star, but the other girl, Rachel something or other. Let's see, he's coming on 8 o'clock. They probably won't tell us who else is on it. Yeah, he had his own show, I think, just called Joey. Jeez. Oh, I didn't have OC listed here. Oh, it was right there. Just says for more details, see that. It's like they're selling cigarettes in TV Guide in 2005. That's pretty wild. All right. Season finale. Interesting. Friday prime time. Super Nanny. That was a pretty big hit when it first came out. People don't know how to raise their own kids. Hope and Faith, Less Than Perfect, Big Brother, Threshold, Bernie Mac, Reunion. Let's see what else. Benny Hill. Mark Curry the other side. And let's see if there's anything on cable on prime time. Who Wants to Be a Millionaire was a huge show around this time. Probably a year or two before this. The OC, yeah, too bad they didn't have any cool ads for that to bring us back. Look at this great ad. I don't know if I've ever seen RoboCop 3, but the first two were fun to me. There's Carla. She's the one in that Threshold show. Oh, here it is. Yeah, I don't remember this show at all. Seems like the sci-fi angle and the good cast seems like it would be pretty decent. You guys recognize Michael Douglas? You recognize what movie this is? The China Syndrome. You guys know what the China Syndrome is? Nuclear meltdown. So the core starts burning down, and it goes all the way, burns all the way through the earth to China. Because theoretically they don't know when it would stop burning. Obviously, it wouldn't burn in China, but that was what it was called back then, especially in the 70s and 80s. Yeah, late night Friday night, probably not much to look at by the time 2006 comes along. I mean, you got so many channels, you could see anything, any crazy stuff you wanted during the day. So you wouldn't have to stay up late to see any crazy stuff like you did in the 80s. G.I. Joe Sigma 6. I haven't looked that up yet. Be interesting if they brought like some of the characters like Duke or Roadblock back, or Snake Eyes, or if they just went with a whole new team. You guys fill me in. Tell me all about G.I. Joe Sigma 6 in the comments. Did they bring Storm Shadow back? Did they bring Scarlet back? You can't have G.I. Joe without Scarlet. Oh, that's right. Then it goes into Saturday because it started on Sunday. All right. Like I said, I'm out of my element here. Look at Patrick Stewart. What a clown. He was great in Next Gen, and his career since has just been a joke. You guys remember all these Resident Evil movies? It's a good snapshot of the 2000s. Shall we dance? It's like Saturday, they're featuring late Saturday. What happened to Saturday primetime? Did I miss it? Oh, I guess I did. I was too busy talking about Sigma 6 or whatever. All right, I don't know how I missed that, but let's take a quick look. Saturday primetime here. Not much on. Most outrageous, unforgettable moments. Probably a rerun of Criminal Intent. Yeah, so Saturday, they're not even trying. They're like, you gotta leave the house or you don't have a life. For those of us that don't have a life, man, back in the 80s, you could be entertained on a Saturday night. Now they just want you to feel like a loser. Yeah, some movies, nothing really to call out here. Soul Train Awards, I wish they had a write-up of it just to see who would be featured in 2005. I guess they do here, but it looks like it's not going to have names. Tony Braxton. Destiny's Child, oh dear. Yeah, there's not much there. I mean, obviously the Queen of Soul. Alright. Yeah, Buffy's probably in syndication at this point. Veronica Mars. Too bad we didn't have a Veronica Mars ad, or an OC ad. That girl looks familiar. Home Makeovers. Rosanna Tavares. Yeah, I don't know. Here's the guy. Did that show actually last more than one season? Jeez. Good Lord. All right. Got a bunch of, looks like they're trying to sell all their spin-off books. Maybe that's how they're making money at this point. All right. We always go through these movies just to call out a few of them, make a few comments. These would be the cable TV movies. And unfortunately, I can't read them all, so I might skip one. The Bourne Supremacy. Face Off. I was just thinking about that movie the other day. Nicolas Cage, he steals the show as usual. Must be hard to be a co-star with Nick Cage because he's such a strong presence. Wait, how are we already in the L's? I don't know, I guess it's a pretty short list. I wonder if they're just featuring some of the more well-known ones or something. Thunderdome. I haven't watched Thunderdome in forever. Once Upon a Time in Mexico. That movie's horrible. Terrible movie by Robert Rodriguez. Other than Sin City, although didn't he directed the other one, didn't he? Shoot, what's it called? The one with Antonio Banderas? The Punisher from '04 was pretty bad. And I'm a huge comic book fan, but we gotta be honest. Spider Babe, direct to video. Oh, they got them in categories. So I guess those were action. So now we got comedy. Man, they're really throwing me off here. But that explains why there's a lot more here. Let's see what's going on with the comedies. We got Any Which Way, but Any Which Way You Can. Those movies were fun. I could watch those movies all day. Barbershop 2. Boogie Nights, they put that under comedy. That's interesting. I have some thoughts about Boogie Nights. I definitely liked it when it came out. You guys remember Bulworth? That was a super strange movie. There's something off about that Warren Beatty guy. Something off about him. You guys let me know what it is. Yeah, I can tell comedies are pretty popular, I guess. Groundhog Day is a pretty good movie from what I recall. Harlem Nights, absolute classic. They're giving it 2 stars. They don't know what they're talking about. Didn't Harlem Lights, wasn't that the one, Harlem Nights, didn't it have the girl in it, her name was Sunshine? You guys remember that? You remember why she was called Sunshine? Yeah, they only gave The Jerk 2 stars. These people are off their rockers, man. The Jerk is great. Little Nicky, were you guys Little Nicky fans? Mad Dog and Glory. Oh, yeah. It's a weird movie. I kind of remember it being pretty good, though. But it's odd. De Niro and Uma Thurman. Strange but good movie is my remembrance on that one. Anybody out there like strange but good movies? And these are all comedies here. They put On Golden Pond as a comedy. I don't know what they're doing with these categories, man. There's nothing comedic about On Golden Pond. That would be a drama. I'm not even taking issue with their ratings, but I'm also their categories. These are still comedies. Silver Streak. Might have seen that in theaters. Nah, maybe not. Not in '76. Maybe Stir Crazy, the one where they got out of prison. Maybe that's the one. I don't know. All right, let's get into, okay, they went to documentaries. Okay, then they went to dramas. Strange categories they got here, but we'll press on. Ambulance Girl. Kathy Bates. What? Oh, maybe that was a movie, that Lifetime thing. I thought it was a show for some reason. Bad Influence with Robert. Oh yeah, Rob Lowe and Bad Influence. And James Spader. I think that's a decent movie. I haven't seen it since it came out. I think that's one that's kind of lost in the mix in terms of the Brat Pack. Bad Influence with Rob Lowe and James Spader, which, you know, those two were both great. Yeah, you wish they just show some of these on TV, man, so you wouldn't have to go searching for them. Do you guys still have, like, cable, HBO, any of those? Or does everybody just have Netflix now? Cold Mountain, that was a pretty hardcore movie. I liked it the first time I saw it, but I think it's pretty nihilistic. And I've grown weary of nihilistic lately. The Devil's Own with Brad Pitt. I think I saw that in theaters. And it was, you know, it was decent. La Femme Nikita. That's not the one with, what's her name? Bridget Fonda? I think that's the original French one, I guess. I don't know. I don't know my Nikita lore. G.I. Jane, I saw that in theater. I liked it. When she told the drill sergeant, you know, the big line that she told him that I can't repeat here. And then he told her earlier in the movie, he said, when I want your opinion, I'll give it to you. All right, these are supposedly still dramas here. They got like the Hitcher under drama, which is funny because that's like a pure suspense movie. Kiss the Girls. You guys remember when Ashley Judd was like the biggest star in the world in the 90s? She's definitely one of the biggest female stars. Last Temptation of Christ. I've talked about that in other ones. A bunch of Italian dudes trying to play like the apostles. And I think the accents are so bad, they just sound like they're from New York and stuff. It almost feels like they're doing it on purpose just to be disrespectful or something, because it's a joke. Mermaid. That's not Mermaids. Mad Max. Mad City with John Travolta. Oh no, that's just a hostage movie. Yeah, that one's not any good. You don't want to spend 2.5 hours just watching a hostage situation. You guys remember Mystic River? Were you fans of that movie? It's definitely a mid-early 2000s deal. Yeah, they got a million movies here. Save the Last Dance with, Julia Stiles. That's an interesting person, Julia Stiles. Wonder what her deal is. I bet she's good to talk to. Sweet 16. Alright. Music, horror. They got a very short horror section. Gothica, that's pretty solid from what I remember. Oh, no, it's not. That's Holly Berry. I'm thinking of Gattaca, I think. I got my G 3-syllable movies mixed up. Those 3-syllable G movies get me every time. Underworld, you remember those Underworld movies? All right, one more hot take before we go. You guys remember, oh shoot, now I'm not going to remember what it was called. It's the guy who supposedly hunts vampires, Van Helsing. Do you guys remember Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman? Worst movie of all time, and that's saying a lot. I've seen some terrible movies. I'll put this up. I'll put this out there. Van Helsing with Hugh Jackman. Worst movie of all time. If not the worst, it's probably tied with, if you could name a couple others that are as bad, it's probably a tie between Van Helsing and maybe a couple others. Here's a crossword from 2005. You can figure this out. The Blank and Stimpy Show, 32 across. Don't Google, All right, this has been Fall Preview 2005. We definitely made a couple discoveries in here. Thanks for watching, you guys. See you next time.